Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We had Tuesday night's Bachelor in Paradise finale of Season 7, and now we are kind of discussing where all the contestants stand, the engaged couples. Everybody's still together. Even the couples that left broken up got back together. So we have something like 5 or 6 couples back together, plus Aaron and James. You want to count the bromance? Go for it. Counts in my book. Do me a favor. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. We're going to discuss what each of the contestants are saying. There's so much content out there. So many Bachelor podcasts. So many different things going on. Doing the Lord's work is my calling. Jebediah 2:13, I believe, is the verse where they said, "And let Dave goeth and do the worketh of the Lord. And then here I became." So it's with this news reporter hair and weatherman personality that I come to you asking for a subscription and like the video. All right, enough of that Leviticus. Here we go. So yeah, plenty to get into. Let's just dive right into it. Mari and Kenny are moving to Chicago. That's what they're up to. Starting wedding plans after Bachelor in Paradise engagement. There they are, going to Chicago. Let's just hear real quickly what they have to say about that. Maybe we can hit the play button. Really high quality video.
We work together, and the way that we go about our lives fits really well together. So it really doesn't feel like there's a gap at all.
Congratulations. Kenny, tell me, when did you decide that you were going to propose during this finale process?
It was quite a few days before the engagement day.
It was with Demi.
I started to realize that it was going to probably happen when I got home from the Tia date, and Mari had pulled me aside.
This background
that was sort of got the ball rolling in that direction.
Oh, that was a long time ago. All right. So Mari, were you surprised, or were you pretty confident that it was going to happen that day?
A little bit of both. I felt confident because I knew that we were in a good spot. I knew that we had the conversations, and I felt really good about where we could have gone after Paradise.
Okay, so you can go check all that out. They're moving to Chicago. Mari, what's interesting here, let's just jump because it's like I don't know if you guys could hear the guitar music in the background. It's like, did Jed finally get a gig? Is he playing the background music for Us Weekly? Hey, at least he's working with humans now. Come on, we roast. So Mari's at almost 250,000 followers. And let me just rewind here. She had posted earlier today some of her journal entries, which is very interesting. Obviously, if you're going to be in a once-in-a-lifetime position like Bachelor in Paradise, why not post a few journal entries? So why don't we read them to you guys? Let me just get back to the beginning here. These are the journal entries from right when she was approaching Fantasy Suite. So we'll check that out. Fantasy Suite and Proposal Day. Boy, she's really sharing the whole literature with us. We got, luckily she said yes to him. Otherwise, this would be more like a Stephen King novel. Oh my gosh, too many. But anyway, yeah, if you guys want, you can get into Mari's Instagram and read these. But let's start. Day, whatever, redacted Fantasy Suites. Wow, what a whirlwind this has all been. We're at Fantasy Suites tonight. I never thought I'd be here, honestly, coming into Paradise, and coming during Paradise, and coming after Paradise. I was clearly open to love, obviously open to love and finding my future husband and the person I'm supposed to be with, but never in a million years did I guess that I would actually be thinking about getting engaged at the end of this, and yet here I am. Kenny and I talked through the other day and were fine after a little blank advice from blank. Just freaked out a little bit and in his head. And I know I'm the one that first put any doubt in his mind, and that's where it's coming from. All right, so Kenny got some bad advice from a guy, and she doesn't want us to know who it is. That's kind of funny. The guy's like, run for the hills. The other night it's really hard to read ladies' handwriting. It's very puffy here. It was fun at first while the band played. Kenny and I mashed potatoes. Is that what that said? I couldn't even read what this said. They mashed potatoes in pink outfits. The theme was 80s, right up Kenny's alley. And then we watched the show. Yesterday was the best regular rose ceremony. I got Kenny's rose, of course. All right, so there they go. Kenny and I had our Fantasy Suite date last night, and it went really well. We talked for a while and tacos and said I love you to each other. And then other things happened, I'm sure. Redact the next part. Redact it. Hopefully they redacted it for a few hours. Multiple redactions happened. A lot of things were said, and like you always felt destined to be alone until meeting me, and then he's not scared of what he's feeling. I told him whoa, I can only imagine. I told him I'd do you, whatever, give you some taco. Okay, well, some taco pun. All right, cilantro. I'll be your cilantro any day. Besides us, did you hear that some people, when they eat cilantro, it tastes disgusting? It tastes like dishwasher fluid to them. Did anyone hear that? That's true. Besides, the more you know. Besides us, the other last couple standing are Serena and Joe and Marissa and Riley, of course, so we'll get into them. Today is the day. I woke up really happy and refreshed. I started getting ready and was visited by blank and blank. Came by and we interviewed for about an hour. I'm back in my room now. I'm really excited for this all to be happening. Oh, and it's been confirmed Kenny has an Android. We need to fix this ASAP. Oh boy, listen, here we go. Old man Kenny, breaking news. Kenny, boy band manager, has an Android. We're going to need to get that fixed. We can't be texting in green fonts. We can't be doing that. And someone's going to comment, actually, the Androids, shut it, Karen. Nobody cares about your Android. I'm unfollowing you because I've been following my Samsung. No one needs it. I can't wait to get my phone back. Hopefully that happens tonight or ASAP tomorrow morning. I'm going to keep everyone guessing about what happens and try not to tell anyone how it wraps up for me. They'll have to watch and find out. Or they'll have to watch my channel where it was spoiled months ago. I have to give a 3 to 5 minute speech apparently, and I'm nervous about it. Not to actually do it, but just to remember it and try to focus. Wow, 3 to 5 minute speech. That's a long speech. My proposal was a bumbling 40 seconds. I was just sweating and crying. The whole mess. I was bleeding. It was a whole thing. I'm leaving in about 45 minutes, and the next time I write in here, I could be engaged. Oh, this is fun. Here she goes. Saturday, August 14th, 2021. Well, it's been nearly 2 months since the last time I checked in, the last day of paradise. Obviously, a lot has happened since then. Mainly, I'm engaged. The last day of paradise went just like I had hoped. Kenny proposed to me and I said yes. After that, we watched Serena and Joe get engaged and later interrupted by Kendall and then Mari and Riley. We all got to celebrate together and after that stayed a few days extra. We went to a hibachi dinner all together the first night and then the beach the next. Oh, that sounds like fun. They should have filmed that. Since then, Kenny and I have been able to spend a bit of time together. I've kind of visited him in Chicago a few times, and I'm going again on Monday. I met his family and really like them. They're really nice and fun. All right, so this was actually I really enjoyed reading this. Oh, a lot of redacted here. We had our first butt stuff. What does that mean? Redaction in LA this past week. Maybe that's a safe house visit, they call it, right, where they don't tell you what it is. I just got back last night. We stayed in a $3 million house that I'm pretty positive belongs to Chris Harrison. It was really nice up in Hollywood Hills, although it's much more of a hassle to meet through the show with COVID testing and flying over all the way to LA. All right, so they were meeting on their own, but then the show sets up a safe house visit for them. Distance is hard as expected, but seeing each other about every other week has been nice and helpful in the beginning. So that's kind of nice, actually, seeing each other every few weeks. It's like one way to dip into like a dating life. You can still have a little bit of time to yourself, and then you go back together. Well, this was a ton of fun reading all this. I got back from Chicago Wednesday night. Okay, so I miss him when we're apart. Very cute. You can go read the whole thing over on her page. And let's go to Riley. Riley's finally able to post with his lady, Marissa. There's their first post together. Riley's jumped into following too. All right, so there they are. They're engaged. We don't know where they're gonna live. I can't play this unlicensed music. There they are with their foodies. Oh, Sparagate. We love people who love food. Riley, I bet Riley is a boss when it comes to ordering off the menu. I bet he's like, I can't decide between the chicken or the steak. We'll do both. Give me leftovers. That's the best thing in my relationship, Tasha. If she can't decide what she wants to order, she just gets everything and gets it to go. She'll be like, well, we'll just eat it for breakfast tomorrow. And it's like, we're getting ceviche, but all right. So there they are, their first date in public. Love Marissa. You guys know me. I've loved Riley since the second he started opening up on Tayshia's season, or Claire's season, whichever one you want to call it. Really love Riley. So happy for them. And we'll share some more from them. Actually, right here, let's go to the Bachelorettes. First black couple engaged in Bachelor history. It's about time. Words cannot express how overjoyed we are for Marissa and Riley. To see black love in action from beginning to beginning, this is only the start for you too. It's such a privilege. Thank you for bearing yourselves, for bearing your truths, for being so vulnerable and open, for giving this show a chance, and for finding your Sunday mornings on national television. I'm getting goosebumps, folks. It's really dope to see black love reflected on mainstream media in a way that honors the fullness of the individual's humanity. It took some time. It took Bachelor Nation getting checked for dehumanizing Marissa. It took hard conversations about previous hurt and trauma. It took the show making the space for us to see these two beyond their sexual connection, and it was worth it. This is a new depth, questionable budgets and all for a show not traditionally known for sharing the breadth of experiences people of color, especially black folks, have with love. Shout out to the production team that were integral in opening the door for something new to be revealed. Congrats, Marissa and Riley. Your love matters. Your story matters. We wish you nothing but unfettered joy and happiness. Real hype for y'all families and friends to be able to celebrate you. Very happy. Jules Strong says, Riley is the best man to ever set foot on that beach. Hands down. Love it. Couldn't agree more. Big fan of Riley and, of course, Marissa as well. For them to just spill their love and joy onto the show was a real added benefit to this season. And as far as empathy goes, some people, it's harder for some people to feel empathy for people that don't look like them. When you get to see someone else's love story that may not look like you, you get to open up to their real feelings and really connect in a way that you wouldn't on just maybe a surface level fantasy suite. So for them to share their love story with all of us, it's a really big moment for Bachelor Nation. Long time coming, probably years overdue, but nevertheless, here it is. So I can't wait to see where their stories take them. Now, here's a story of someone who didn't find love on the beach, but I thought this was a fascinating clip here. And we're going down the line. We got all these clips to share, so much to talk about. But here's Connor, and this was reposted from Sterling Cates. Now, Sterling, but by the way, beautiful photo. And I think she's a producer for Bachelor. I love the behind the scenes people. They got walkies, talkies strapped to them. They've always got like tape on them. They're just ready to go. So she's there to hype up Connor. Have a watch. We obviously couldn't send Connor in without a dance party. So he's getting ready to be introduced on Bachelor in Paradise. So, they're in the car, keeping him cool with the AC on, I bet. Ready to go. He's done hair and makeup. And then, because they always come in so sassy, like, I'm Con. It's like an episode of Next on MTV. So he comes in, guns a-blazing. I just thought that was a fun behind-the-scenes moment to see one of the producers jamming out with Connor. All right, moving it along. Here's we have Joe and Serena. Let's find out what they are up to in Bachelor Nation, if they're going to stay together.
Like most bizarre habit
long distance
that you
or
maybe
whatnot.
have discovered over the last few months, either on or off the beach. Is there something that you've realized about each other that's just like a strange thing that the other person does?
Joe is petrified of salmonella poisoning. So he always overcooks the chicken because he's terrified that it's going to be undercooked and we're going to get salmonella. Also, what you saw on the beach is his entire closet. Gym shorts and so many t-shirts. But we're trying to refrain from the socks and sandals. So we're really working.
So they do. They want to change you.
For me right now. All right.
They want to change you, Joe.
I would say, I really want to get you here. I'm going to go with, oh
boy.
She is.
This is like when you're in a job interview and they're like, tell us your worst quality. And you're like, well, I make too many great videos. I'm a good video maker. I'm a good power recapper. My worst quality is the audience just doesn't have enough time to watch all the great videos I make. Because they're asking him, what's the worst quality of Serena? And he should be like, well, sometimes she does moves longer than, I was going to say something dirty, but I can't. There's kids watching.
I'm what?
An awful driver.
Awful driver.
The point where it's actually scary.
There you have it. Serena is an awful driver. Boy, my fiance's not an awful driver, but she's an angry driver. She's laying on the horn. She's yelling. What does this person think they are? You know what I mean? It's like leave her alone. She's your grandmother or something. All right, somebody's grandmother. That person who cut you off is somebody's grandmother. Mari and Kenny talk wedding plans and discuss meeting each other's families. Oh boy, so much content to get through.
Seeing each other on previous Bachelor franchise shows, was there something once you got to the beach that initially drew you to each other? And was there like a specific moment when you knew that he/she was the one?
Well, for me, I knew of him going into Paradise, and he was someone that I wanted to meet and get to know.
Terrible
but for
audio.
me, what really drew me initially was the fact that, I had been on the beach less than 5 minutes and he came and told me to go talk. And I was like, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So that's where it started for me. And then obviously having more conversations with him. And then, going through everything that we did made me realize that, this is the person for me.
Look at his hairstyle. He's got that vanilla ice.
Nice.
line.
And was there a moment, Kenny, when you knew that Mari was the one? Was there like a standout moment from the summer?
I've sort of been. I obviously I was into Mari right off the bat. But I've been sort of pinpointing kind of when I got back from the date with Tia. And
can you imagine? Well, there were 7 ladies on my list, and if they didn't work out, I was going to go for Mari. Can you imagine that?
Mari had grabbed me right away at sort of the moment where I started to think for sure that we would be leaving together.
Now, and you can watch all these videos on YouTube, of course. People go, Dave, we don't like when you interject. Well, go watch it on a different channel. What do I care? We're here. I'm here for my snark. Are you? So there are several occasions when a good marriage will, the sum is greater than the parts, right? The sum of Mari's beauty, Kenny's beauty is greater than the parts. And I would have to say that was reached in this photo that was coming out the other day. Holy hell. Can someone get me a towel? My golly. What? And Mari looks pretty good too. No, they look great. Close your eyes. What the holy heck is going on? Bachelorette says, oh, this is a moment. Couldn't agree more. Everyone in the comments was like, jar drop and fuego. One after another. This is a nice little photo shoot they did. Some people were saying, now I'm zooming in on her fingers, guys. Don't get weird. Some people said that they were confused why she didn't have her engagement ring on. But, they're doing a photo shoot. Maybe the guy wasn't vetted. They didn't want to, maybe the ring was getting resized. Whatever the case may be, clearly they weren't wearing much. The only article of clothing here is Kenny's necklace. That's all he's got going on. But wow. Now, real quickly while we're here, I could have made 2 hours worth of content from all the stuff that's going on here. But we've got the engagement rings. Is that's not the right one. Let's go to this photo right here. So here's everyone with their engagement rings. We'll just go through the list. The Neal Lane. Wishing these 3 couples a long-lasting love in paradise. To learn more about the couples and their engagement rings, visit People's website. All right, so maybe we'll do that tomorrow. We'll go to People's website. Let me know which of these engagement rings is your favorite. But I personally like the solitary ring. I don't like all the doodads around it. It almost makes, to me, again, what do I know? I don't have cut or clarity. Circumcised. All right. What the hell? So to me, it's too much. It's too much. But of course, probably to the ladies, they're like, no. It's never enough. Speaking of never enough, how about the love for Riley and Marissa and their ring right there? Now, what would you call that? A pear-shaped? Is that what you would call that? I don't know, folks. Looking great. Again, how many diamonds are going into these things? Who got the most carats? We'll have to figure that all out. Here's a rare photo unearthed of Kenny and Mari wearing clothes. A rare photo. So listen, that's we could talk all day about all these couples. There's so much going on. It looks like Kenny and Mari are going to move to Chicago. And then we didn't see this, but actually, I think we have here, wherever it says here, let me see if we can find this, that Joe and Serena will be living together in Chicago. Trying to find out if they say where. Let's just do a Chicago search here. I think the Chicago native tells, hold on one second, there's 4 mentions of Chicago. His hometown is Chicago and hers is Toronto. Right now, we're only an hour away by plane. We're going to go back and forth from Chicago and Toronto, and we'll either get a place in Chicago and Toronto, or we're thinking of possibly New York. We're both open to wherever life takes us. Can you imagine if Joe's like, let's just move to Los Angeles just to mess with Kendall, whatever. Let's just move to LA. Come on, let's live in the hills. We'll mess with her. We'll be like, oh, LA is great. I can't believe how great LA is. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment. We'll talk to you later. No live stream today. We'll be back with more content coming your way. Bye, everybody.